No, it looks good to me.
Snap.
No.
Here, hold that. Okay, people, welcome to the last edition for this event of two guys in black hoodies on a bed in a hotel room in New York City.
The final night of Toy Fair with 1 day left.
Yeah, 1 day left, one night. We'll be flying out after Toy Fair tomorrow.
Correct.
So, so we decided to sit down again. The original plan was to, Mattel's going to show a lot of stuff. We're going to have a lot to talk about. It's going to be a long episode. Maybe not.
It was a limited showing, we'll say that. I wouldn't say lackluster or anything, because some of the stuff that they did show was cool. I think there were some things that we were hoping to see more of, and even some categories even that we were expecting to see that weren't on display.
Yeah, didn't pop up.
Yeah.
We had heard rumors of She-Ra stuff maybe. Didn't see any She-Ra.
The Castle Grayskull Mega Constructs, that was out there as far as being known that it was coming. That was not.
It was behind closed doors.
Yeah, it was back in the sales area.
We're
away
not good
from
enough to see that kind of stuff.
because we're not buying in bulk.
But what we did see was some Jurassic Park stuff. Now before Jurassic World.
I guess it's Jurassic. I will continue to say Jurassic Park throughout the duration of this video, so I will be checked for that. You're fine.
But it's cool stuff. I don't know a lot about the scientific names for dinosaurs. I don't know where they come from. I can't even remember which movies they come from most of the time.
They're big and mean and they're killers, so that's all you need.
If it's a cool looking thing that can go with my 6-inch collection, then it's interesting. And most of these, most could fit in,
Skew
most
a little
couldn't.
bit,
And it's cool stuff. They had an Indoraptor though that looked fairly large, had some features to it.
And it kept eating Chris Pratt during the demonstrations that they were given.
They had the big deluxe mega-sized raptor that's about the size of the T-Rex that's out currently.
This one was the weird one for me because the T-Rex was like, wow, this is big, it can fit in, like scalable and whatnot. But now their next deluxe is a deluxe of Blue, right?
Which is cool. I mean,
it's a big version of him, but he's kind of like he doesn't fit with anything now.
It almost
really,
fits
right?
with you, kind of as a baby Blue,
right? My baby Blue.
But the big thing we were looking forward to that they announced and showed at San Diego last year was the 6-inch line with the Jeff Goldblum and the Chris Pratt and the Blue, and that was nowhere to be seen this year. When asked, they just kind of said, we're looking at it.
Yeah, so I mean most of the answers past things that were on display here were non-committal because they were just more about what was there. But there are obviously some things that are conspicuous by their absence.
But to be fair, when they did announce the 6-inch stuff last year, they said it would be fall of this year.
Right.
So they still have maybe still developing. Maybe we'll still see some more at San Diego this year.
Yeah, and Blue was there, but then we also knew that the epics, are they calling it epic scale? Is that what the big ones are? Yeah, the Brachiosaur wasn't there either.
It wasn't there either, but according to the dude who was super excited about it, it's like, it's a bow, and that's what I want, and it's what I always wanted, and it's going to be cool. And so the excitement there was kind of...
Yeah, it sounds to me that, for a big dinosaur, that's going to be cool, but there's a little bit of Masters of the Universe interest with that for the Gigantosaur that was never released. I don't think scale-wise it's going to be that big, but I think a lot of people may have an opportunity to cheat that in with their He-Man stuff at a relatively good size.
And that'd be neat. But we moved over to the next thing. We're going to talk about 3 booths. There were 3 properties since they were all right there together, and that would be WWE. That's I can.
www.e.
WWE.
Yeah.
Which, when it comes to wrestling, I'm more of a modern fan. You're more of a classic fan, so it kind of works out.
Yeah. So he knew the ones that I don't know.
Right.
And,
and I think they showed quite a bit of stuff. King Mabel, Undertaker.
Yeah,
Reigns.
the biker Undertaker. Those were all for their new Elite figures. And there was an Iron Sheik there, which it's been a while since I think Iron Sheik has been in the Elite line, but it was confirmed as being the next Retro Fest figure.
Right.
So I know there were some leaked pictures of Mr. Perfect in the Retro Fest, but that was already packaged up and whatnot. So I don't know if maybe who's next in that line, because this was the first time I had seen Sheik.
Well, the thing about it too, I can't keep track of all the WWE
There's so
stuff.
much of it. It's all great, but there's so
the
much.
Basics, there's the deluxes, there's the ultimates.
Now there's the ultimates.
Well, they also showed the Brood era Hardy Boys, which Hardy Boys anything I'm gonna attempt to pick up. And then I asked about the Ultimate Deletion set with the mower of lawns, and he didn't know anything about it.
I've been educated in the delete. Yeah. and one thing I was interested in seeing is the new Ultimate, the Ultimate lines, because I was wondering, how far above Elites are these going to be? But I really do think that they have now carved out 3 very specific and very, very different executions from their basic Elite. The Ultimates, to me, are almost as much of a step up above their Elites as Elites are of their basic figures.
I get that. And especially, they've shown Ronda Rousey, they've shown Ultimate Warrior, both look fantastic.
The Ultimate Warrior head with his hair was always kind of messed up, but the really mussed one and the paint coming off his face, the paint as it was off of his face was actually really well done. I was impressed with that.
Now, he comes with the cloth jacket. Ronda comes with swappable arms for a plastic jacket.
I think that was a good choice.
Standing there, the guy did know that the next 2 would be Bret Hart.
Yep.
And Shinsuke Nakamura.
I wonder what era of Bret they're going to go for.
Probably
his title.
I was bugging him about if they were going to do the same with Bret and Shinsuke, because he comes out in a jacket, pulls it off to wrestle. If they're going to do the plastic arms with the swappable
Is his jacket
plastic
long
arms.
Or is it short?
No, it's short.
Is it short?
It comes around the waist.
So that almost seems like that would be plastic.
It seems like it, but he was again very not. We don't know.
Yeah.
He also doesn't know if they're going to continue the trend of one classic with one modern along the way.
I kind of like that.
It kind of appeases both camps, or all camps if you're a fan of wrestling all in general through the ages.
Yeah, because I definitely understand why they are putting a renewed focus on current roster talent. So that kind of pushes, what I get kind of off to the side a little bit and makes my collecting habits for it a little bit less. But having something that's balanced across 2 releases, because they are more expensive, because you get a lot more. So I think they probably understand that a classic wrestling fan is probably the one with the disposable income that can go after that. So it's a good split. I like that. Yeah, and Warrior was a good one to start with, because all of his looks are so crazy. The paint detail that you have to get matches the personality.
Parts.
Yeah.
I don't collect a lot of the WWE figures again because I can't keep up with everything that's coming out and all the different versions and just everything. But the Ultimate line, 2 at a time. That'd be a cool little display over to the side.
Yeah.
Displaying classic, modern.
And while we did say that they're different, quite a bit different from the Elites, they all would still work together in a display, no problem. And they're not going to stick out as being, you can't display your Ultimates with your Elite collection because they don't fit in. They fit in fine.
Yeah. But then we get to the Mattel stuff, and this is
the Mattel stuff, the DC stuff in the Mattel booth. This is all Mattel stuff.
I'm done. The DC stuff.
Yes.
Which, I don't know, maybe it was the show. Was it last year at Toy Fair? They didn't show a huge amount of stuff, but then we turned around to San Diego. They had a whole wall of DC stuff. Now this year, with the rumblings of they're not going to make figures after 2019 for this property, and they come out with a showing of 5 figures.
Yeah, so what they showed today had never been shown before, and anything that they had shown before was not here. So,
and when asked again about the stuff that they've already shown and when it's coming and is it still coming, it's just like, we're working on it. I have a good feeling that they're going to try to pump out as much as possible.
Yes.
But I wish Mattel would actually show that aspect, that they want to put all that stuff out.
Yeah, and there's quite a bit that was shown in San Diego last year, and I'm hopeful that all of that is going to make it out. But the new stuff that they showed looks really great, but this new wave of 4, they gave us a street date of 6/1, so there's not a big gap of time between now and when that's due. So I don't know if it's going to kind of come out on top of other stuff, or maybe this got pushed ahead of some of the stuff they showed in San Diego.
And I really like the look of the stuff. And I hate to say that because lately, when I do buy the DC figures, there's also always something fiddly with the elbows, the ankles, something. But I like how the character looks on the shelf.
Yeah, the direction is going in the right direction.
And was it time to pull out a nostalgia wave? Maybe. But it's a cool concept that I was kind of like, oh no, that's Toy Biz.
So, yeah, and I've talked about it, is that I get the most out of the multiverse line over what I can integrate into the massive classics collection that I have. And honestly, this one gives several figures that I think fit into that well. So nostalgia or whatever.
Good basic general looks for the characters, I think. And if people are looking for that on store shelves, because I really dig that Riddler look. I mean, I like the suit look.
Yeah.
I like his other looks, but this just spandex with question marks.
Yeah, and it gives you one that's a little bit more. They put out the Riddler in the spandex in the what was it, the Superpowers, tribute line. This one looks like it's more just meant as a classic interpretation of a Riddler, not so much beholden to the superpowers thing. Right. Batman and Joker in this wave, on the other hand, are very true to the design of the Toy Biz
which
89 Keaton movie.
They didn't have the exact likeness rights for Keaton and Nicholson, which apparently Nicholson's already dead anyway. So they based it on their own designs. And then these are based on those designs.
And I think they did a good job with both of them.
It works as a generic Keaton Batman. Joker, not so much. I mean, there's a lot of classic
he's got that head that really looks like that old, the hair, I think, more than anything, that looks like that old figure. But if I think about the classic Jokers that I have, they've got the Sprang one, they've got the one that does have tribute to the Alfredo Alcala. That's Masters of the Universe. That's Garcia Lopez. Sorry, Garcia Lopez from Superpowers. This one it makes him look very different, but still kind of iconic at the same time. And his flower effect. The flower was the thing.
He does come with a little flower to switch out, so it's swappable. Yeah. At first I thought,
that's gonna plug her in.
Why is his soul leaving his body? That's the mindset I was in at 8:30 this morning. And then I realized
you skipped the breakfast on the way in. They were giving you the bagel to get your brain going.
I had to get to the toys. But then apparently, from what I'm seeing a lot online, because I wasn't buying a lot of DC stuff back in the day, the Poison Ivy is just kind of the DC Bible version. Yeah. It's not actually based on any nostalgic Toy Biz action figure.
Yeah, and you know what? Whatever. Because the Ivy that I want has the non-green skin Ivy, and the green skin Poison Ivy that we got way back, whenever the heck that was. It's a fine figure, but this is the Ivy for me, and I realize these are prototypes, but man, her face looks great right now.
It does.
I hope it
does. I hope that translates well to final product after the factory. Now that's a wave of 4.
Right.
Nostalgia wave. I asked if it would be nostalgia carded or nostalgia packaged. Again, no answer.
Yeah, and they didn't have an answer on a collect and connect, build a figure, whatever they're calling it.
They straight up called it build a figure right there, didn't they?
Yeah. It's hard not to call it that. Yeah. But the Robin, though, that was next to him, he is actually in a different assortment. So nostalgia
that's kind of
wave
a confirmation that another wave somewhere is coming. So
planning.
Hopefully with some of the stuff that we've seen, because there's enough for 3 or 4 waves that we've seen that hasn't been released.
Yeah, that's true.
But the Robin is said to be like more articulated than the figures we're seeing right now. Nostalgia Wave has the standard multiverse articulation. Robin
maybe a little bit more
ups that.
Yeah, so I was a little sad not to see Mega Constructs, because I don't buy a lot of those, but it's amazing that I've got little Hellboy and He-Man, and they also make Terminator and Futurama. Yeah. I was waiting to see that, but I don't think that property is under any type of duress. That's a Mattel owned property, so hopefully we'll continue to see more of that.
Right.
But
I was just hoping to see more. I mean, it's not like I was especially after Hasbro hitting us with 47
I
figures.
I have to keep asking myself, okay, am I disappointed in other people's showings because I've set the bar at Hasbro? It's like, I think they're kind of an outlier on the other side of that too, so that's not really fair. But at the same time, I was hoping to see more DC figures. I was hoping to see some more Jurassic Park.
The 6-inch line.
Yeah.
They always bring it out for WWE. They had a bunch of more figures behind it. But I don't know. I don't know where it's going. I wish they would answer questions.
I'm looking forward to the nostalgia wave. I'll probably buy a big Brachiosaurus.
I can talk all the shit I want, but I really like the look of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it feels good too. It looks good, feels good,
Look good, feel good. Mm-hmm. As the show
goes on,
trudges
we still
on.
gotta have other stuff to talk about that we want to talk about. Like me personally, I'm excited about McFarlane Toys.
Super 7.
You're looking at the Super 7
Super
stuff,
7.
So
we got NECA to talk about, which I'm
NECA,
excited about.
But that's for a different. That's for later on.
We'll catch them on the next one.
Yeah, on the next one. We did get popcorn at the Jack's booth.
Jack Snacks. Guys, call me. I came up with that on my own.
And I also got an Arya from Game of Thrones.
I'm gonna let you say that, but
well, look at that. We'll talk about more stuff. Catch you on the Fwoosh.